Hello, everyone. What are you doing? Can you say hi? Yeah. What are you thinking about? Oh my gosh. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Friday Reads with Amelia in the background. Oh my gosh, I have a hair in my face. You'll notice my reading cart has been moved because I'm trying to catify my apartment, which means that I have this here and there's like more steps, and then the cats could go all the way to the top of this bookshelf and hang out. And so yes, I've moved my reading cart. So sorry, you guys. I want to update you on what I'm going to be reading this weekend, which is very small list. But today's video is brought to you by Read More, Worry Less. So there's that. Okay, so I finished the Thousand Doors Readathon. That was so much fun. I wish there was one that was longer. I wish that libraries around here would do that for like kids or teens. I think especially teens would love something like that. So yeah, that was so much fun. If you have not done it, I'm going to talk about what I read on Sunday's video, but I don't want to give you the prompts necessarily that correspond with the books, just because like it was so much fun and I don't want to spoil it for anyone. You could even do it more than once, really, just because it's so much fun. So anyway, I read a lot this week, which I'm not going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about it later. But just in the spirit of the Thousand Doors Readathon, I just had so much fun doing that I wanted to do another like TBR game. So I was inspired by somebody that I don't remember who. It could have been And with the E, or it could have been someone else. Don't remember. But I took this game out of my closet, Dixit. I'm not sure if anyone has played it, but it's a storytelling game. And it comes with, I'm not playing it as it's meant to be, obviously, played, but inside of here, there are all these cards, and each one has a really cool illustration on it. Like, this is the best produced game. Like, look at all these like beautiful pictures. So I'm gonna mix them up, but anyway, I picked one the other day after I was done with the Thousand Doors Readathon, and it was this one. So it's kind of like, it made me think of like pretending to be who you're actually not, perhaps, or I don't know, any of these you can look at in any different way. You could be like, oh, I'm gonna read a story about a king, or someone pretending to be what they aren't, or about a statue. I mean, like, you look at this and you are inspired to pick a book. And so the book that I chose based on that was The Half Has Never Been Told. And this is about slavery and the making of American capitalism. This is a chunker. It was sent to me by Elba. Thank you so much, Elba. I am already freaking in love with this book. Let me just cover. I've read the introduction. That's the extent of things. But anyway, I learned that during the Depression, or a little bit after, that a lot of writers and students were hired to interview older Americans to kind of collect American history. And so that's what this book starts off with, is this guy interviewing this African American about the experience of slavery. And they're talking about in 1619 how the first ship went over carrying enslaved Africans. And I didn't even think about this, but just like the details in here are so like jarring and descriptive, I guess. It talks about how these people are lying in chains in the bottom of a boat, and they will not see land until they are brought up on deck to be sold. And I knew what happened in slave ships and stuff like that, but just to like picture that, how long, sorry, that was my dryer, how long they were in the bottom of a boat, not even able to see the sky, crammed together in chains, and then they can see land and sky and all that stuff, but then they're instantly sold into, you know, a horrible, terrible situation. I also talked about how during the Civil War that African American soldiers made the difference between victory and defeat for the North. But then it kind of talks about how basically the people in the North just hated the people in the South. They thought they were so arrogant, and, you know, it was just like, psh, we do not like you. And once they won the war, they kind of like didn't really care about Black people anymore. Like, it was never really about Black people to begin with. And yeah, so it said that they abandoned Southern Black people. And I just think this is really important right now. Like, as our election could possibly turn out favorable, in my opinion, like, just because, sorry, I had a low battery signal. Just because we could have someone more favorable in the White House does not mean that we give up the fight as far as Black lives and as far as the environment and all this stuff that we've been fighting for and super upset about the past 4 years. Like, we're not done fighting. It's not solved just because someone new comes into the White House, especially someone who may not have the House and Senate able to do anything, like to support them in any kind of way. So that just reminded me of that, even though it's obviously talking about a completely different time. I think that history really informs our present. What else? Then they're talking about how slavery was a flawed economic system and it was inherently unprofitable according to both the people in the North and the South. However, I don't know, we'll see if that's true or not. Slave productivity did not increase to keep up with industrialization. They described abolitionists as snakes in the garden, responsible for a civil war in which hundreds of thousands of white people died. So yeah, this book is starting off super, super, super good. Let's see, I'm trying to think. Oh, it also talks about when slavery is discussed in schools, that it could be like a trigger for Black students because they struggle with a sense of shame that most of their ancestors could not escape the suffering they experienced, which obviously is not their fault at all, but we kind of glorify like escaped slaves and abolitionists and all that stuff, and there could be that sense of shame. Yeah, so then this person that was interviewed by this student, Lorenzo Ivy, he's the one that said, "Truly, son, the half has never been told," and that's where the title for this book came. So I am super looking forward to read it, but honestly, it's probably going to be like, you know, take this whole weekend plus some. It's actually only 400 pages, even though it looks thicker just because of all the notes. But because this is so deep and so intense, I probably will sprinkle it in with a few, well, maybe like one other book that is lighter. And when I feel ready for that, I will probably draw another Dixit card and see what picture it is and see what book I feel like, but I don't want to do it now just because I want to wait until I'm actually going to start reading it, and because I don't like picking books ahead of time too much. Anyway, that is what I'm going to do this weekend. I can't think of what else I should say. I think that's it. I hope you guys have an amazing weekend reading. If you live in a place where it's going to be super warm this weekend, enjoy nature, get outside, read outside, walk around, have fun. And I'm hoping that the next time I talk to you, the election results will be finalized. Well, okay, maybe that's a bit too optimistic. But anyway, love you guys. Have a great weekend. Bye.